After countless trips to Disney World, we've noticed something. The families who have the best time all do the same things. Welcome aboard, I'm Don B from Eat Sleep Disney, and in this video, we're sharing how to do Disney World the right way. Because the difference between an unforgettable Disney trip and a stressful one isn't about how much money you spend or how many rides you get on. In fact, it all starts with knowing what to plan and what to let go. Disney World rewards those who are prepared, but it doesn't necessarily reward you if you're an over planner, and there is a difference. Most guests do one of two things. They either plan every single minute and then spend their whole trip stressing about it, or they show up with nothing booked and no real game plan, and then spend half the trip discovering things they want or aren't available, or standing in long lines. Now, both approaches can cause problems. And the truth is, Disney World planning isn't an all or nothing thing. It's just knowing the difference between what requires a decision in advance and what you can keep completely loose. Because several things definitely need a decision, like your resort. In fact, the resort you stay at shapes every single day of your trip, which parks you can walk to or take a boat to, whether a midday break is a 10-minute stroll away or a 45-minute bus ride. These decisions are worth making deliberately. The right resort for your trip style isn't just a comfort choice, it's a strategic one. Your park days. Now, you no longer need to make reservations for certain parks, but which park you go on which day does matter. And we'll cover the best days park by park later in this video. But knowing your park order in advance means your dining reservations, your lightning lane strategy, and your morning transportation all line up without scrambling the night before. And then there's dining reservations. The most popular restaurants like Cinderella's Royal Table or Topolino's Terrace are gone within minutes of the booking window opening at 60 days out. So set your alarm at 6 a.m. on your 60-day mark and have the app ready. One great table service meal per day is a target, and then let everything else stay flexible and using strategies like mobile ordering or taking advantage of walk-up wait lists when the time is right. And then there are lightning lanes. The multi-pass opens 7 days out for resort guests and 3 days out for day guests. On a busy summer day at Magic Kingdom, using Lightning Lane Multipass can save you hours of waiting in line, but knowing which rides to prioritize is key. And then other decisions like the order to do rides, how long to spend in a land, or which quick service restaurants to grab lunch at, well, those decisions can live in the moment, made by how your family feels, what the wait times actually look like, and what sounds right. Planning all those things way in advance doesn't make your trip better, it turns your vacation into a job. Now, if this is your first trip to Walt Disney World, or it's been a while and you're already starting to get a little stressed out or overwhelmed, don't worry, we completely understand. That's why I want to send you a completely free copy of our Ultimate Disney World Planning Guide, just updated for 2026. It includes all the tips and tricks we wish we knew before our first trip, take you from booking to park entry. It also includes packing guides, park checklists, and a budget worksheet to help you stay one step ahead of everyone else in the parks. So scan the QR code on screen or click our exclusive link down in the description and download your completely free copy right now. And while Disney World does accept money, time is actually your most valuable currency when visiting the House of the Mouse, because Disney World is engineered to take your time away. The distances, the queues, the transportation, all of it slows you down. The guests who get the most out of their trip aren't the ones who move the fastest, they're the ones who spend their time intentionally. That's why we're big fans of staying on property and taking advantage of early theme park entry every single day. When using early park entry, you get a 30-minute head start from other guests. And you can usually knock out a couple headliner attractions and maybe even be in line for a third attraction before other guests are let into the park. Early theme park entry can essentially act like a lightning lane, but it's free if you're staying at a Walt Disney World resort. But if you're going to use early entry, make sure to take full advantage of it. Many guests don't realize that Disney Resort buses start running about an hour before early entry begins. So if Magic Kingdom opens at 9 a.m. and early entry is at 8:30 a.m., buses from your resort start running at about 7:30 a.m. Get on one of those first buses and get to whatever park you're getting to, puts you towards the front of the line for early entry, and then rope drop a high in-demand attraction like Avatar Flight of Passage, Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, or Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind, among others. But queues don't only form at rides. They also form at restaurants. The lunch rush runs somewhere between 11:30 a.m. to 1:30 p.m., with the dinner rush running between 5:30 and 7:30 p.m. So eat at off-peak times. Shift your meals outside those windows, and you'll recover a meaningful amount of park time every single day. Now, you can also take advantage of mobile ordering to pick the best pickup windows before they're gone. Now, you don't need to do this the moment you walk into the park, getting your first hour or so of rides. But once the morning rush is finished, use the My Disney Experience app while you're in queue and schedule your lunch or dinner pickup window well in advance. On busy days, the most convenient windows fill up by mid-morning. Scheduling around this means you're eating when you want to eat, not when a window happens to be available. Now, if I told you not to buy any souvenirs at Disney World, you probably wouldn't listen to me anyway. But save your Magic Kingdom shopping for the end of the night. The shops on Main Street stay open 30 to 60 minutes after park closes. So do all your shopping on the way out, not during peak ride hours. Your kids still get to pick something, you just pick a smarter time to do it. At most parks, guests start leaving about 45 minutes to an hour before closing. Queues drop noticeably in that final window. A Disney policy is that if you're in line before the park officially closes, they'll let you ride. So get in a couple last minute rides and then get into a ride queue for an in-demand attraction a few minutes before the park closes instead of wasting an hour plus waiting in a daytime line. While it doesn't always save you time, take advantage of single rider lines. Several attractions offer this option, such as Expedition Everest, a Rock and Roller Coaster, and Millennium Falcon. And using the single rider queue can reduce that 60-minute wait significantly. However, it's not a guarantee. Now, in our experiences, the attractions where the single rider line has the best benefit is Test Track 3.0 and Remy's Ratatouille Adventure, because those ride vehicles have an odd number of seats, 3 across, meaning single riders often fill that empty space. So if your group is comfortable splitting up and meeting at the exit, using the single rider line for several attractions can definitely save you time. Attractions such as the Carousel of Progress, Mickey's PhilharMagic, Monsters Inc. Laugh Floor, or the Festival of the Lion King are great attractions, but use them to your advantage. Use indoor attractions during the hottest part of the day. These things are air conditioned, normally have minimal waits, so plan to hit some of the indoor shows between noon and 3 p.m. and return to outdoor rides later in the afternoon and early in the evening. Now, no one has a crystal ball. Crowds, wait times, weather, they're all more predictable than most Disney guests realize. So the families who have the best park days aren't necessarily lucky, they just know the patterns. Magic Kingdom is the most iconic park. It also tends to be one of the busiest, especially on the weekends. So avoid it on Friday and Saturday if you can. However, Sunday can be a sweet spot. This is when most families are traveling to Disney World, either coming or going, and we've seen Sundays as one of the hidden gems. If you can't go on Sunday, Tuesday, or Wednesday in the middle of the week are preferable. Likewise, Hollywood Studios is the one park that's consistently the busiest all the time. There's not much fluctuation in wait times. But if you can, the middle of the week as well, Tuesdays and Wednesdays, is also preferred at Hollywood Studios. Depending on the time of year you visit, Epcot's crowds can be quite variable. If there's a festival occurring, like a popular festival such as the Food and Wine Festival or Flower and Garden, the weekends at Epcot can become crowded as locals go for the festival events and food booths. Other times of year, Epcot might be better off on the weekends when there's no festival. And Animal Kingdom is a very underrated park. If you take advantage of early park entry and knock out the signature attractions like Avatar Flight of Passage, Na'vi River Journey, and the Kilimanjaro Safari early in the day, essentially any day at Animal Kingdom can be manageable. And you can take advantage of a lot of the attractions that are outdoors that you can experience at your own pace. Now in the My Disney Experience app and in the front of all the rides, you'll see posted wait times. But they're not usually very accurate. In fact, posted wait times can be inflated by 15 to 25%, and Disney does this intentionally. When you beat the posted wait time, you feel like you've won. So before you decide whether to select an attraction or not based on the wait time, knock off about 20% of the posted time and ask yourself if that adjusted number changes your decision. Now, Florida storms roll in between 2 p.m. and 4 p.m. most days. Some guests panic and leave. The guests who know this head straight for their next headliner indoor attraction. When the storm clears in 30 or 40 minutes, the park's a little bit cooler, a little less crowded, and that post-storm window will give you a little extra time to ride a signature outdoor attraction with little wait. Just make sure to pack your ponchos and an umbrella to weather the precipitation. Now, if you opt to purchase a Lightning Lane multi-pass or Lightning Lane single pass, which can be an advantage, especially during busy times of year, you can scan into that Lightning Lane at 5 minutes early or up to 15 minutes late. So that 3 p.m. window actually runs somewhere from 2:55 p.m. to 4:15 p.m. Use that buffer, especially if you are finishing a ride or grabbing a snack. A few minutes here and there may not seem like a lot, but over the course of the day, it can save you considerable time and stress. Now, of course, you've done some planning ahead of time and know the park hours of operation, but check those hours of operation the night before every day. Hours change, sometimes with little notice, especially around special events. Magic Kingdom closes early on after-hour events certain times of the year, and the crowd character shifts completely in the final couple hours if there's a special ticketed event. So know this before you go and adjust accordingly. Along with losing a lot of time, you can also lose a lot of money at Disney World. And the best way to do Disney isn't necessarily to be cheap, it's to be deliberate. While the food at Disney World is delicious, you don't have to buy all your food from Disney. Use grocery delivery to your resort to save on things such as breakfast items and snacks. Instacart, Walmart Plus, Amazon Fresh, all delivered directly to Disney Resort hotels. And Bell Service will hold these items if you're not there. So stock up on items like breakfast cereal, protein bars, grab-and-go items, or other snacks. A family of 4 could easily save between $20 and $40 a day using grocery delivery. Over a week, that really adds up. Regardless of when you go to Disney World, most likely it'll be hot, and you want to stay hydrated, but you don't want to pay the $5 plus for a bottle of water every time you're thirsty. So take advantage of free water at any quick service restaurant. Just ask for a cup of ice water at counter service locations, the soda fountain, and you'll get one no questions asked. So bring a refillable water bottle for every member of your family. You can also use free water refill stations that are spread out throughout the parks and many Disney resorts. They tend to be located near the restrooms or near quick service location. But we know you still want to sample some of the food at Disney World. A quick way to save up to half the cost, well, is to split meals. Portions at Disney World are enormous. At quick service, a single adult entree is generally enough for 2 people or an adult and younger child. This also works at a la carte table service restaurants as well. Those restaurants do not typically charge a plating fee for splitting an entree, so it's worth asking when you sit down. The same logic applies to snacks throughout the day. You don't really need 3 Mickey pretzels or funnel cakes. Sharing food helps you save money and lets all members of your family sample a variety of Disney favorites. Also, even if you're traveling without kids, you can order off the kids menu. Disney restaurants allow adults to order from kids menus, especially quick service restaurants. So smaller portions, considerably cheaper. If you don't need a full entree for lunch or dinner, the kids menu is a nice compromise. Now, of course, one of the easiest ways to save money at Disney World is to work with an authorized Disney vacation planner. Now, Heidi and I are not travel advisors. That's why we partner with Mouse Fan Travel. We love working with our travel consultant, Blair, who looks through all the deals and promotions to ensure we get the best price. And the best part is, all their services are completely free. So you're getting free Disney vacation planning advice for things such as best restaurants, hotels, park strategy, etc. So scan the QR code on screen right now, or click our exclusive link down in the description to get your free, no obligation quote. There's plenty to do at Walt Disney World to cover a week plus or more. So I'll be honest with you, regardless of how long you're staying at Disney World, you're not going to get to do and see everything. And that's okay. Magic Kingdom, for example, alone has over 40 attractions. Not to mention the other 3 parks, 2 water parks, Disney Springs, resort experiences. Once you accept this early, you'll have a completely different trip than guests who spend the whole week trying to check every single ride and attractions off a long list. Because Disney World isn't just a collection of attractions to tick off. Some of the most memorable moments from any Disney trip aren't even the rides. They might be the Festival of Fantasy parade rolling down Main Street, or the Happily Ever After fireworks, or the moment your kid gets to meet their favorite Disney, Pixar, or Star Wars character. So before your trip, have every member of your family pick 5 must-do things, whether they're shows, rides, characters, or restaurants, and prioritize those first. You'll get to do a lot more, of course, but making sure you hit the things you definitely want to, everything else is a bonus. And while making that list of must-do items, you also need to factor in some breathing room. A midday resort break, especially in the summer, makes the rest of the day better. Come back to the parks with more energy, more patience, more capacity to enjoy what you're doing. That's not time wasted, that's strategy. Or consider building in a full resort day. I'm going to shake a little bit while I'm saying this, but you could plan a Disney World trip and take one day completely off from the parks. That's sleeping in, swimming, eating at the resort, or going to Disney Springs. Every park day around it does get better. In fact, not building in a resort day is one of the common Disney World planning mistakes most guests make, but it's not the only one. So click or tap on our Disney World planning mistakes video, brand new for 2026, right here on YouTube. In that video, we share the insider tips and tricks to save you time and money, to help ensure you stay one step ahead of everyone else in the parks.